Hello, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon Shawaike. Welcome to today's live session on time management for the PTE exam. My name is Fabliha Bushra Khan Rupunti. I'm a 90 scorer and I'm also a PTE trainer at PEC-Education. PEC-Education has been in operation since 2016. We have two training centers right now in Mirpur and Uttara, and we have basically been helping students since 2016 and helped around more than thousands of students get their required scores. Now, from all our experience, we know that time is one of the basic, most important factors that many students find difficult to handle for the PTE exam. Now, if you guys are familiar with PTE, you will know that overall the difficulty and the complexity of the English is not quite as hard as other tests, but what really stumps many people, many test takers, is the time that they need to take one exam. And because this is a computer-based exam, you really don't have additional time. It's 50 seconds means it's 50 seconds. So in today's session, we will discuss on some assumptions that some of you have and clarify some doubts and basically give an idea on what you need to aim for and hope for to actually smoothly give your PTE exam and how you should take care of your time. So firstly, when we go to the main issue, the one thing that some people ask and have doubts is that can your time be carried over? Because PTE, as you know, it's a total of 3-hour exam and you give it in one sitting, so there is no additional time. So basically what they ask is each section, if you save some time in one section, can it be carried over to the next section? And that is absolutely a no. That is, each section has its own timing. Whatever timing that you save or manage it, it will only affect that particular section and it won't be carried over to next section. Now, for speaking, that is your first section. How is that important? So PTE exam, they will ultimately give you they have their own timing that the entire speaking section will have so and so time. Now, if you guys are familiar with the exam, you will know that each question in PTE, speaking section especially, has its own given time. You are given 20 seconds to read the question, then another 30 seconds to open the question, and so on and so forth. And you will have these kind of questions, different types of questions with different timings given. So your timing will be given for you, so you don't have to manage your own time. But so how can you use the time management factor here? Now, there is one thing that the PTE, the total timing, doesn't take into account for, and that is the time it takes to pass from one screen to the next. So if you have a total of, let's say, 30 questions, then there will be a 30-second timing that you would need an extra time for moving from one screen to the next, which is not really something that the exam accounts for. So you need to save your time so that you can actually give all your questions and attempt all your questions. So this really doesn't need much effort. What we normally do tell our students is as soon as you finish your speaking, you just press your next. Don't wait for 3 seconds until they find out that you finished your answer, and so they will automatically go next. You click next by yourself. That way you can save a lot of time. So if we go by question for the PTE speaking test, for read aloud, you will have sufficient time. If you are naturally fluent and speak in a normal tone, you will have an additional of 10 seconds or even 5 seconds to 10 seconds for each question. So just automatically press next when you're done with it. For repeat sentence 2, you really don't need to think of I need to finish it fast. If you just speak the sentence, you will have sufficient time. All you have to do is press next. Now you need for describe, image or retell, you have your 40 seconds. So this is where your time management comes handy, and you need to be sure that you have that you have finished your answer within the 40 seconds. And finally, another place where you need to save some time is the short answer question. Now, if you guys know, for each short answer, you will be given 10 seconds to answer. Now, since it's just a one-word answer, you really won't need the 10 seconds. So here, it is optimal that you press next as soon as you're sure of your answer, so that you can save the time that it takes to move from one question to the next. Now, this is something that many test takers just naturally do, but when some people fail to do this, then what will happen is a few of the last questions in your short answer, they might not have enough time to answer that. So that is one very important thing that you should be aware of. Now, coming to the writing section, that's your next section. Here, each question will have a fixed timing. So before I said your timing will not be carried over from one section to another, right? Here I'm going to say if for fixed questions your timing will not be carried over. So for writing, for example, you will have around two summarize written text, which is a 10-minute question, and an essay, which is a 20-minute. So don't think of saving some time for your summarized written text so that it will help you with your essay. No, that doesn't happen. So if it's 10 minutes, it's optimal to spend all your time to do that particular question well. You will still get a 20 minutes for your essay no matter what you do, for how less time or more time you take for the other questions. So that's for writing. So one thing I would suggest is you need to take all your time and answer each question for your fixed time questions. Now comes to the main places where you need to take care of your time. That is the next two sections, that is your reading and your listening section. Here your timing will not be managed for you. So there won't be a timer saying you need to complete this question within 40 seconds. You will have to manage your own time, which is quite difficult. So for example, a reading section, for your reading section, you can have, let's see, you will have around 32 to 41 minutes, and there will be 15 to 20 questions. So you need to know how much time you will take for a particular type of question. So if you guys are familiar with PTE, you know that reading section has 5 types of questions. Some has more weightage, some has less weightage, some needs you to read more, and some needs you to think more. So it's up to you how you actually go across and how you manage your time for each type. So there is something that I would like to give you, a basis of what you should aim for each type. So multiple choice single answer is where you have to read a passage and answer, but you will because it's a single answer type question, you will need to find just one information from the passage. So a 2-minute time, try to finish your multiple choice single answers within 2 minutes. But for the next multiple type, where it's a multiple choice, that is multiple answer question, you need to look for a lot of details in your passage. So for this, a 3-minute is an optimal time. Now you can try and practice to bring this down, that's up to you, but a 3-minute is something that normally you have to take. Reorder paragraphs, first of all, it doesn't have that much of weightage and you don't need much reading. It's all up to how much you can get or how fast you think. So try to make or finish your reorder within 1.5 minutes. Then the 2 fill in the blanks. For reading, the 2 fill in the blanks are really important questions. One fill in the blank is a vocabulary one, where it's not much on your thinking skills but more on if you know the vocabulary. So here you can take around 1.5 minutes or 1 minute. It's really not that much to think about. But the other fill in the blanks, that is reading, writing fill in the blanks, is actually very important. It is one of the most important reading questions, and it also tests your grammar and you need to think about it, and there is a lot of choices you have to make. So this question also we say take around 3 minutes. Now it's up to you. When you look at the weightage of or the importance of questions, you can reduce your time in some places and bring it to some places where it's difficult. But this is what is the common thing that we would like to suggest to all of you, and from this basic idea you can reduce or increase time according to your wish. Now for listening again, actually this is the section where a lot of people suffer and a lot of people cannot complete the test, because this is almost a 1 hour session and you can have 18 to 25 questions here. Now this section is also confusing because in this section you have one particular question where it's fixed time. That is, the first question you will have is summarize spoken text. There will be a 10-minute time given before. So for this question you do not again need to think of time management, just complete the whole thing, because this is counted separately from the overall time that you will get for the listening. So it doesn't matter if you save time here, it won't help with the other questions. Now after you do this question, then your time management starts. Most people take a lot of time for these kind of questions, for most listening questions, but the test is not designed that way. Okay, you need to hear the audio, and once you hear the audio, a maximum of half a minute you should spend on actually answering the question, and sometimes that's not even required. For example, if it's highlight incorrect text, you're listening and highlighting your text, and then you just spend 5 seconds max to give it a look and go to the next question. What people do is after listening they kind of get confused whether this was right or this was wrong, and they spend even more than 1 minute on a question after the audio has been done, and that is something that you definitely should not do, because if you do that, your last question of the listening part, which is right from dictation, actually carries a lot of marks. So what happens, most people try to focus too much on the other listening questions, and then they fail to actually attempt all the questions correctly, or you might just have to rush through the last section, which is actually one of the most important sections of your PTE. So for listening section, you have to take care that after the audio finishes, you do not spend a lot of time thinking or getting confused, and just take a decision within 30 seconds for most of the questions. And if you do that, you will finish your listening section well. So when it comes to time management, you have to think of section by section and not the overall test, which is good, because if in some case you actually mess up in the time for one section, it does not affect any other section. Even though the whole test is a 3-hour test, it really doesn't matter. So you need to think of your timing as how you can finish this particular section well. So with that, we'd like to come and talk a little more on our institute, which is the PEC-Education, where we offer some English courses and also PTE training. A lot, we have different types of PTE training. You have a long course, which is 2 to 2.5 months for people who are a little weak in English and they want to stay with us for a long time and get our personal help, because we trainers are there for you, and we encourage our students to basically send their grades and whatever they have done, their questions, to us, and we even beyond the lectures we help them to with their basics a lot of times. So because of that, a lot of people want to take the long course with us so that they can increase their English level along with the trainer. Then that is for the long course. In the long course we have around 20 lectures, and you have 5 mock tests that we give specially, and we have additional materials like grammar, practice materials, course book, CD, etc. And this is also true for our short course, which is a 7-day course, a 2-hour session each. And in this section, instead of 5 mock tests, you will be given 3 mock tests, but your materials are pretty much the same. So our mock tests actually have some speciality, that is, we as trainers check your results and give you personalized feedback. So with our mock tests, if you give our course and then do our mock tests and take it in some interval, then you will know which part you're weak at and how you can solve it, and we basically try to help you section wise to help you increase your score, and that through our mock tests we can help you improve your grades. So also, that is PEC-Education, not only do we have these courses, we also help with student study abroad schemes to countries like UK, US, Canada, Australia, etc., and many countries in Europe as well. So if you are a student, you can actually immediately do the study abroad thing with us as well, and that's free of charge. So we kind of welcome you. And again, as I said before, we have two sections, that is we have two training centers, one in Uttara and Mirpur. So if you want to know more, our address is given in our website, and this is our Facebook page. If you like the content that we give, then just put a like and then subscribe to our page, because we kind of do these kind of videos quite often, and you will know our daily offers and the new offers that we do. So with that, thank you for actually joining today's session. I hope it was helpful and you guys can get your required scores in PTE. Thank you so much.